the strings.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Motion Auto TV, the home of freaking dirty diesel swaps and random things. Today we are working on my 2000 Ford E350 7.3 van with a 4x4 conversion on it. In the last video you guys seen, we painted the frame on this thing. We installed the other 7.3 out of the rolled truck. That's actually good, better than this one at right here at least. And so we got it fired up in the last video. It runs really good, but it had a huge oil leak. So what I did is I went ahead and pulled off the turbo pedestal on this one, which this is the engine that actually came out of the van. And we're gonna try to do a little DIY solution to kind of get us by, or not get us by, but kind of a permanent solution, so that way we could actually get this thing all buttoned up today, because I'd like to get this thing kind of out of the way and move on to some other stuff, move on with the build, because we have some good plans for the outside of it. But for now, if we walk over here, the van's not all the way down on the frame yet, but this is the turbo pedestal. This is where the turbo sits. Basically the turbo bolts right here. The oil comes up from the bottom right here, feeds in there, and it drains right there. This comes out of the block, so this is where the feed goes in, this is where the drain goes in, and it shares that oil pressure with this valve right here, which is actuated with this little solenoid pack, or the little diverter thing. And so basically what this does is this activates a flap that goes in the exhaust right behind the turbo, and it helps keep the engine warm when it's cold, or helps the engine warm up when it's cold. It basically closes it like 95% of the way. Gets all angry sounding, and spools up and does a bunch of whistly stuff. Sounds pretty cool. Warms up really quick. But one of the things that they do is they leak, like the one in the current van. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take this thing apart, see if we have some seals that will actually fit in here, some O-rings that we have on hand. Basically just some snap ring pliers right there. And if we can't get that figured out, I'm just going to put this back ring back in and weld the front of it shut, and just pretty much call it good with that. So let's get started. Alright guys, so got this thing welded up right there. Just went ahead, pulled the plunger out of it, kind of ground down around it, ground the inside of the hole, flapper or wire wheeled the whole outside, and just threw a nice pretty little booger on there with the old Everlast. Link in the description. This thing has been an amazing TIG. I think I've had it almost like 4 freaking years or something like that. Welded tons of intercooler pipe, a bunch of stainless stuff, but yeah, I think now that this is confirmed, I think that's gonna work. I got it cleaned up as good as I'm gonna. We're gonna throw it in and see if she leaks. Alright guys, so last night took the turbo off and I did that little weldy thing, and basically just got it all set down today. Got a bunch of things hooked up. It's not officially like in there, just because I want to fire it up, make sure that thing's not leaking, or that there's no other major problems or anything like that. Let it actually warm up. I actually put a new glow plug relay, new fuel filter, new thermostat, serpentine belt, all that stuff. Serpentine belt's obviously not on it right now, but basically just gonna try to start it up real quick, see if it starts on its own without having to do the jumper cable on the thing, make sure the glow plug relay works, and then we gotta actually I need to hook up another freaking tranny thing. Hold on. All right, we should be ready to start it up now. Boys, so I think we're actually, we're in good shape over here. I'll hop inside real quick. I'll show you guys what it looks like in here. So you got a little bit of, crankcase ventilation coming out, going through that thing, which that really isn't even bad because it's still cold. Then you can actually see down there on the ground. The reason you can't hear the turbo spool up right now is up underneath here. There's
one of the exhaust manifolds is tapped for an EGT probe. I guess I should turn this thing off now. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be leaking. Doesn't seem to be leaking where it was leaking earlier for that EBPV, or the exhaust back pressure pedestal. So I think we're solid. I think we could pretty much bolt the cab down, start officially hooking everything up, and we should be able to take this thing for a drive here in a little bit. All right, guys, so now that I hooked up a bunch of stuff. So we have the radiator in here, we have the training cooler hooked up, we have the batteries hooked up, we have the alternator, all the wiring, the turbo, some piping stuff going in there, AC compressor, this stuff. I have a brand new coolant reservoir, and as you can see right here, we have a new fender on it. So I'm doing a 2008 front end conversion on these things. So the front end of these things, I think, were pretty much the same from like 94 until 2007, or was it 96? Or I know for sure it was like 98. But this front end has just been around a super long time. I'll put a picture of what this thing looked like before, and the 08 ones just look a lot better, and they give you a little bit more room in the front for an intercooler if I were to do so. So I've already bolted on one of the fenders right here. Actually, I stuck one bolt in it just so it doesn't fall. But so that needs officially bolted down. But that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna go ahead and finish bolting on the front end of this thing, get it all converted to an 08, make some little brackets, because there's no little bracket to go right here. Normally, this bolt is like further back. Like I said, this one extends the front end a little bit. But one bolt lines up there. I'll make a little bracket for right here, and then there's this whole radiator support thing that goes on there. And so I ended up getting this front end from my buddy Levi, the guy that runs Drift Colorado. He had a really cool van that you guys probably remember if you're OGs from the Drift Colorado events. He had a super sick lifted silver van, and so he got this for his, and then ended up selling it. But I'll go ahead and I'll put a picture of his on here too, because that thing's really sweet. But I'm just excited to drive this thing. I've hooked up a ton of stuff that you guys just haven't seen, just because it's, you know, there's just hooking up a bunch of stuff, and I didn't really feel like filming it. But yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. All the cab bolts and stuff are in. We just got to put on the front end, and then we can take it for a little drive. Uh-oh. Thought I heard a drip. Did you hear it? Oh. There it is. I wonder what that is. Damn it. Alright, so we just put some coolant in it, and I was just waiting for to hear a drip somewhere. But I didn't think we were gonna get one, and then freaking out, now we got a drip. And that sucks. Where's it dripping from? Could have swore I put all the coolant things on it, but maybe we'll have to get down there and inspect. Yeah, we got the front end on this thing. Ty, you want to do the honors and close it? This thing will just pull it all the way out. Haven't figured out where the hood prop goes. So this is our 2008 7.3 Power Stroke freaking E350 van. That doesn't look like it was from 1994 now. 4x4. With the 4x4, yeah. You know what I'm going to do is I have those 7.3 Power Stroke logos that look like the 6.7 ones that are black. Yeah. I think that'll be. I think that'll be pretty cool. You got rid of your 7.3 tires, huh? Those tires should be great. Yeah, I did. I sold them to Brandon. So these are 17s, and my dad has some 33s that are like mud terrain we could throw on here. But right now what I want to do is fix that coolant leak and then actually fire it up and move it outside, let it warm up, heat cycle, do all that stuff after I figure out that leak. All right, Ty.
Ready?
The first time in 5 years that this thing is hopefully going to move under its own power. That's
5 years.
That's kind of weird. Brakes work still too. I think I drove it when I bought it, but Ronnie was the only one to actually drive it on the highway or do anything cool with it. Oh, there's still that stupid exhaust leak because that EGT probe is still hanging out down there. Look at that little cloud.
Boys, so it is the next day.
See, we have a running van outside. It's only leaking a little bit of coolant right now. So didn't have a chance to let it fully warm up last night just because it was so cold out. And there's like a leak in the header. But you can see the coolant temp just bumped up a little bit. I went ahead and bolted the seat down, and I think it's time to officially take this thing on its first drive. I just turned it around in the parking lot last night, so.
I'm see what she does. You guys can actually see what it looks like outside.
With the new front end. Obviously we're gonna polish the headlights and do some painting stuff up here. It's only bolted on with one bolt in the front, just because right here they cut this out so they could go a little bit further. So you can see there's not really like a bolt hole right there yet. But I was gonna make something to make that actually work properly, or depending on, you might have to cut it again.
It's just crazy looking at it.
And then looking inside there, and you can actually see how nice the frame is. I guess I should probably hang up this wire. That wouldn't be good. Alright, so she says service engine soon. I don't know about that. I don't know what it's thinking. It's got the bird poop right here still too, and the super sticky steering wheel. I need those beeper things on the back of here because I feel like I'm just going to back into everything because this thing's so freaking long. Where's the radio works? There you go, boys. The speedo works. Smoking a little bit. Hopefully that'll clear out. Ooh, we got some death wobble. I wonder if that's because there's no steering stabilizer on there and the tires are kind of angry. She doesn't really feel that strong. She feels kind of weak. I feel like the turbo is not in like full freaking kill mode right now. It's kind of weird. It just doesn't feel that doesn't feel as strong as it should. Maybe that's just because I'm used to driving around a freaking 6.7. So I've been driving around a little bit, kind of logging some pressures on it, and it seems like the ICP, it's getting about 25 to 2600 psi under wide open throttle. ICP, the regulator is only going to about 30%, so it's making plenty of oil. It seems like it. The engine load goes to 100%, and it only hits, so right now it's at atmospheric, so that's 12 atmospheric. It's only hitting about 20, so that means it's only hitting like between 8 and 10 pounds of boost. And I'll do a quick little burnout real quick to kind of show you guys some numbers on there if it'll focus. So it'll do a burnout, but it doesn't sound very healthy doing it. Oh yeah, I think it was like freaking shifting. Well, that was a burnout. Freaking roasted these tires pretty good. Just shifting into second. So it does a burnout at least. Alright guys, so there it is in all its super slow freaking glory. I don't know, maybe the IPR or something is doing some weird stuff. Or, you know, the turbo basically seems like it's only making about 10 pounds of boost, which they should minimum make 20. And honestly, these vans are pretty quick because they don't have an intercooler, and so they spool up kind of later because of the big exhaust housing. But as soon as they're like in boost, they just like rip. Like anybody who's driven like a 7.3 van, they're kind of weird. They're like kind of oddly quick in the ones that I've had or worked on in the past. So. Yeah, so right now I just need to kind of figure out diagnosing that issue. It is puking a lot of coolant out of the front of it. And yeah, I'm not sure if it just needs an IPR. Because one of the things is when I do go wide open throttle with it on the scanner, it actually, the numbers don't move unless you kind of pedal it a little bit. So I don't know if it just goes to a set RPM and that's it. Or maybe the ICP sensor is like messed up because that's kind of the code that it was sending. So maybe I could swap ICP sensors in the next video, but I definitely have to put a water pump on here, and I need to kind of get these fenders and everything all mounted a little bit more, and then kind of figure out exactly what I'm going to do with the interior of it. So as you can see right now, we just have all these freaking seats in here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 seats, and then you can see I have some of the interior panels and stuff off it. This is the passenger van, so it actually has the AC that goes up on the top. Driver's seat is in need of some repair. You can see it's got the little 4-wheel drive stick right there. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are telling me, you know, that I should keep this for like the next tow rig or whatever like that, and it's so hard to justify it when like I literally have a 2016 F350 with a 6.7 that's, you know, tuned and has some things done to it that, you know, makes it really quick. It has tons of power. It's got a 6-speed. It's got heated and cooled seats. It's got a full like touchscreen DAT. I mean, it's an amazing truck. And if you guys haven't seen that videos of that, I actually bought that I think almost 2 years ago from the auction, rolled and fixed it, replaced the whole front end stuff, did a bunch of stuff to it, and I've put literally over 23,000 miles on it in the past year and a half towing with it, like towing the enclosed trailer and going to events, and I've only put about 30,000 miles on it total. So yeah, it's been an amazing truck, and again, to get this to where that would just be so much work, you know. And so I'm kind of thinking wheels, tires, and then as far as the body wise, we're going to fix a little bit of body work out there, and then we're going to do something a little bit different with this build. So on a lot of the other things I normally paint them, I was thinking about actually doing like a Raptor liner on here. So might put like a little poll up in the little corner of the video, kind of asking you guys what you think I should do. I was thinking like a kind of like a battleship gray or like a light gray, and with some black accents, like black wheels, and maybe do some more stuff with the grill. Or we were thinking kind of like a desert like tan, something like that. It's kind of like something like a Humvee or something would be, or like a green, but all in Raptor liner. So it'd basically be bed liner. You know, again, obviously fix up little bodywork stuff around it here and there, And then I was thinking I could probably have these wheels just powder coated black and throw new bolts in them, because it does have like a bead lock, like a fake bead lock ring that goes right there. So probably just take those off and just put bolts in them. Put some these are 17-inch wheels. Probably just throw like a 33 1150 or 1250 tire, like all-terrain looking thing, versus these are kind of like or mud terrain more so than the all-terrains. Yeah, I got the headlights and everything to work, got the turn signals and all that stuff to work. Basically just ordered a quick little like H13 to whatever 9007, whatever these bulbs were, just ordered it on Amazon, and that showed up. I ended up finding my intake, which I thought I actually lost. So I need to get some air filters for that and a water pump for it, figure out why it's being so weak, and then I guess we'll go from there. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think of this this thing. Maybe it could be like the coronavirus like bug out van. You know, I could take the I don't know where we'd go, but you know, that was one thing. I was joking around with all the buddies. I was like, yeah, we could just load everybody in the van and just freaking go, but it's pretty slow right now, so I don't think that's really an option. But see you guys later.